truck and my truck in here doing a little of the preventative maintenance stuff. Martin, what are you doing to yours? You're checking tires? Okay, it's for Martin doing all these damn burnouts. That's what it is. Everywhere he goes, smoking tires. It's all that horsepower. So for those of you guys that didn't see that truck kind of get built on Jeff's channel, that's a 6-liter with a cam and converter. Martin, what'd it make? It made some pretty good power for, I mean, it had a ton of drivetrain loss, big tires and all that. All I know is that it does burnouts all the way through like second gear into third, and that thing's pretty rowdy. But we're over here on the Duramax, as you guys saw on a couple of my other videos. God, I'm not wearing a hat at the start of this. As you guys saw in a couple other videos, it's got a little smoking issue where it's rolling a lot of coal. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to pull the filter out, which is a pain in the ass with the S&B filters and with the S&B intake. And we're going to clean that and then do an oil change. I'm not going to go after the fuel filter just yet because it's showing me that it has a lot of life left to it on my little dash information center, whatever. So we're going to see if this clears it up. If not, then we'll come back later at another date and do the fuel filter. But for now, I'm going to strap the GoPro to my head and we'll get this filter out. God, I hate this damn S&B filter. What do you think, Martin? A little dirty?
Ain't bad.
Will it cause an excessive smoking issue?
Yeah.
I mean, in here is pretty gross. There's a lot of dirt and stuff in there.
Yeah, I can't. Get a bottle of cleaner, a bottle of oil. I wonder what the rest of it. I had some more. Must have sold some.
Alright, so it says let this sit for about 10 minutes, so while that's happening, we'll go back over here to the truck and get it up in the air, and we'll start performing an oil change on it. Also, I'm going to clean this up at some point before I put everything back, so everything's nice and clean, but yeah. So when you get this filter, it has an option to put a little block-off plate here if you go on like gravel or dusty or dirty roads all the time. Obviously, I take that out because I want more horsepower, better airflow. But as you can see, it gets pretty dirty. The truck started smoking heavily after I went to my buddy's house and they were out in those sticks on a gravel road and all that. Drove the truck a little bit and then it started to kind of roll a little bit more coal than normal. Nothing excessive, it's not really down on power, it's just something I noticed. So we're gonna clean this off, it's probably due. I've had it on there. How long do you think I've had that stuff on there? 6 months? Martin's not good with times. Favorite thing, which is a smoking hot oil change. Good thing I have Martin here, because every time I've done an oil change, Martin gets my oil filter off because he puts it on normally, or he normally just gives it the last tighten, and that gets pretty tight. As you guys can see, we're still rocking the mud on from Wes's backyard, and yeah, everything's just looking good. We're just making sure everything's in its place, and yeah, everything looks all right. Martin. I don't think so. Possibly. Yeah. Who tightened that last?
That would be me.
That thing was on there, dude. Guys, if you haven't learned anything from my videos, when you tighten down your oil drain plug, you got to tighten it down to 210 foot-pounds. Don't want any oil to leak out. God dang it, Martin, that's hot. She's a hot one. She's a hot one today. Whew! Whew! about 2,000 degrees.
Oh yeah, that's good.
About to sling oil everywhere.
Molten lava.
Oh god, it's so loose, it's so hot right now. Oh! Whew! We're good. Didn't even drop it that time. Alright, so now that it's just down to a slight trickle, we'll put the oil drain plug in there and move over to my favorite part, which is the oil filter. Oh god, it's hot. And if it's anything like the drain plug that Martin put on there last, it's going to be on there rather tight. Alright, Martin, first try on the oil filter. Ah! Ah! Oh, it's on there so good. Whew. I think I moved it.
Michael, please.
Oh. Ah. Oh, Martin. Dude, I no longer need you for oil changes. This thing is just molten right now, though. All right, oil filter is off. Let's let this drip out of here for a second. I'm gonna go grab a new oil filter and I'll be right back with you guys. All right, so here we go. We got our Shell Rotella 1540. This stuff, I swear by it. I run it in the cow, I run it in the truck, I'll run it in the chicken. It's just some good stuff. And then we got our new filter. So we'll fill this guy up. We will put this on the truck, set it down, fill her up with some oil, and then we'll finish off cleaning the intake filter, and hopefully that will resolve the issue where it was rolling a little bit too much coal. So let's see what we can do. All right, so we're gonna clean off the filter now in anticipation of giving it some time to dry. Just hit it with the water, Martin. You can see what's going on there, but there's definitely some stuff coming out of it. Man, there's just some crap coming out of here, Martin. So we'll let that dry. We'll get this filter on and then set it back on the ground, put some oil in it, filter on, hit the road, make sure it's not rolling coal. Oh god, oh god, oh god, that was not a clean, that wasn't clean, definitely not clean. We're alright though, we recovered. Got some oil on it, just a little bit. I got a tight butt. My tight's different from your tight. And that, folks, right there is why I can't get the oil filter off myself most times. Thank you, Martin. So we will put in 2.5 gallons and then we will check it. I'm putting it in the right spot, right? Is that the symbol for oil? You're laughing. I don't know, Martin. This is a serious question. I might be putting this in the coolant tube. My boost tube. Whoa, whoa, that got scary. I'm standing on a low level. All of a sudden I saw oil come to the top of that filter, or to the funnel. Oh, it's definitely drying out. We're definitely getting drier. Yeah, for sure. This is great. This is great. All right, back to the truck. What you do is you look on S&B, you buy this stuff, and then you have to oil the filter, not filter the oil. So what you need to do is you need to go in a ring motion around the filter. What do they say, like an inch apart? Just send it. Part right there, right about there. Screw the fan. Fan is done. You've lost your fan privileges. step is just put our filter back on. Kind of a pain in the ass to get it in here. Oh, it goes in great compared to how it comes out. So that is a wrap. We got the filter cleaned and oiled. We did an oil change. We got everything back on. So all there's left to do is drive it and see if it does anything different, if it rolls a little bit less coal, which I'm hoping, because I think that's really the only thing. If not, we'll have to come back another time and change out the fuel filter, but for now I think that should be good enough. Big thank you to Martin for coming up here on a Saturday. Be sure to check out Martin on Instagram because he posts all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll link his Instagram somewhere here. But thank you for coming up here and check out RPM Motorsports because that's where we're at. Other than that, let's drive this thing. All right, so we're just driving it a little bit. I put a couple miles on it, and one thing I will notice is it doesn't roll as much coal. It still smokes a little bit more than normal, but not an extreme excessive amount like it would. So cleaning the filter out definitely helped it. It feels a little bit, I'd say it's a little bit better for sure. It definitely is. I think later on down the road, shortly we'll do a fuel filter change and then we'll be ready to go. But that filter was pretty dirty as I was cleaning it. I'm not sure if it showed up that well on camera, but it definitely was. So yeah, I guess I just got to stay on top of that and know that if I'm going in some dusty, dirty areas that might need to take it out and clean it rather sooner than later. I'd say that we're doing better. We got a fresh oil change in it, clean filter, rolling a little bit less coal, so we're doing good. We're ready to tow. All you need to do is get the cow up and running and we'll be ready to rock. So I do want to thank you guys for watching. Drop a comment below. What do you guys, how do you guys like the videos where I just put the GoPro on my head and do a little work? It's something different. I like it, I enjoy it, but I want to know your input. I have a couple of really good video ideas at the track and building some stuff of wearing the head-mounted GoPro where you get that first-person view. So yeah, other than that, I do want to thank you guys for watching. Go down in the description, go get you a Cowmaro shirt or a key tag. Other than that, we will see you guys next time.